I grew up in a small town in Ohio, a little town called Franklin, about 4,500 people, and about 40 black Americans. But my mother and father would gather 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls, around this one big table, and they would read to us anything they could find about Africa. And so my dream was to always go to Africa. I was in Ghana when Peace Corps started, and one of the questions the Ghanaians would ask me, can Americans really go to these countries and make a difference? And I said, well, I thought so.
When I went to the Peace Corps, at first I was what they call a desk officer. People got to know me and they said, we ought to send this guy out again. So they sent me to Niger. I really got to know the president and all the people around him. There was a doctor from Hawaii whose name was Bill Kirker. And he came, President Diore, the then president of Niger, they came to talk to me about joining. And I said, your outfit is not big enough. If I can create a new Africare, then you tell President Diore that I'm coming. That's when I found Kennedy. He was already at the Peace Corps and he was already building a reputation.
So we met Umaru, Bill Kirker, C. Payne, myself. We met and formed Africare.
It was health, education, and agriculture. Those were the 3 things we were involved in at the beginning. And then we got involved in community development, in which you did things to help the community function, help them build schools, help them build health clinics, to make volunteers available to engage in health work. That's why we recruited nurses and technicians that could go and do the job.
C. Payne Lucas hired me to be the country director in Zambia in 1978. This was an opportunity to really continue working in an area that I really enjoyed and felt a real affinity to. And also to work with someone like C. Payne Lucas. When he asked you to do something or to work with him, you didn't say no.
This group of 30-some volunteers, they started to get it. And suddenly they were members of the community. Now, in Africa, it doesn't take long for the Africans to learn when you're superficial and when you're real. And these volunteers were real. They fell in love with the country.
The women have to walk 4 or 5 miles to a stream to get water, and you put in a well. Or see the people growing food. Or now during the dry season, they have enough food to tide them over during the dry season, and they have enough money to send their children to school, and I say to buy the school uniforms and pay the fees. So that's very rewarding.
Africare's mission is helping Africans to improve their quality of life. Simply stated, that's what it's all about.
Community-driven development. That is what Africare does. Inclusion, making sure that we are listening to communities, attacking the priority problems that they identify, with communities involved in what we do from day one throughout execution of projects. These 2 gentlemen truly are giants, and I humbly stand on their shoulders. They formed Africare at a time of crisis on the continent.
Recall at the time they were beginning to form this organization, we were still looking at an apartheid South Africa.
You see progress in many ways. You see light at the end of the tunnel. So it's really exciting to be part of that. Knowing what it was in the past and seeing where we are today is very exciting.
both of them were they're just so loving and friendly and just very deeply caring people, really deeply caring about the organization and about what they're doing and about people in general.
Their vision to making a difference in the lives of people. And you hear that a lot, and you can read that a lot in the slogans and the literature for organizations. But when you talk to them and you see and observe them work, it really, they meant what they said.
Kennedy and Payne has done the groundwork for us, but because that was the hardest thing to do, to form an organization. I think now we have our job should be easier because of that. It should be easier, and now we have to make sure that to go ahead and implement this project, so that when they look back, they say, well, there's no regrets, and they are very proud of us.